Hello everyone, and welcome to the General Intuitive Reading for the week of March 30th, 2020, as we're going into April. Can't believe that it's April already. To start with, I'd like to remind everyone that this is a general reading and it can't possibly resonate with everyone, but when you watch or listen to it, you may gain some clarity, some direction, possibly some inspiration and motivation during these times that can be very challenging on our planet. Certainly, when we look to the heavens, the astrological aspects, the planetary aspects, are having a huge effect on so many of us. So let's look into some of those astrological aspects before we pick some cards to give us more messages. With all that is occurring in the world, April is bringing in some really, really powerful planetary energies. And these are coming from the planets Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Pluto. First of all, Mars is our fiery, adventurous energies and emotions. Jupiter increases and expands things. It's the planet of blessings, good luck, and abundance. Saturn causes separation and restriction in order for us to really learn our lessons. And Uranus, that planet just wants change. With this tremendous soup of energies in the mix, along with what's happening on a global level, it's heralding a very important time for growth, prosperity, and certainly for change. Now, the first major alignment is the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction. And conjunction just means that they're in close proximity to one another. And this is on April the 4th, which, by the way, is a really powerful energetic day, with it being a 4-4-4. April's the 4th month, the 4th day, number 4, and then 2020 adds to a 4. This potent day will not only highlight the economy and our financial system on a global level, it also will create new opportunities in finances on a personal level. 4s carry the number of stability, safety, security, and foundation. And all of these will be greatly increased on this powerful day coming up, the 4-4-4. Now, the eerie quiet has allowed people in isolation to slow down and really allowing those people to be more open and receptive to new ideas around abundance. You know, many people are now going to invent and create ways that they can actually work from home, and new ways that they can gain abundance. The Posse of Angels, my angelic family, and I have been speaking for many, many months how we are all evolving into higher versions of who we are. And at the very core of our divine, eternal natures, we are abundant. You know, we are reminding everyone to look at this time as a gift, to invite abundance into your life, and start to realize that with abundance being our nature, that abundance is always all around us. It's just waiting for us to align with it in order to invite it into our lives. And the next alignment that is coming in is on April the 7th. And that one is the full moon in Libra. Libra is all about love. It's all about beauty. It's all about harmony and unions. My sun sign is Libra. And this will spotlight and shine a huge emphasis on relationships and the connections that we have in our life and the relationship that we have with ourselves. In addition, this Libra full moon will be setting the stage for very new relationships to come in around the time of that new moon on April the 22nd. So a lot is happening from an astrological point of view. On one hand, yes, we are going through this global event, but we will come out of it much stronger. Now, normally, let's talk about that full moon coming up. Normally, full moons do have us feeling heightened emotions, off kilter, off balance, and can lead us to feeling sad and lonely. And our isolation and our separation could exacerbate these feelings. If we are feeling like this, please, please do make an extra effort to reach out and connect with others. We are so blessed to have technology to do that. But the good old fashioned telephone will work just as well. There are lots of people out there to be able to connect with. The Posse of Angels and I have said many times before to use this time to prioritize all the things that you love doing and that you may not have had time to get to before. And when I went to my beautiful fairy cards, 4 cards flew out of the deck and they all jostled for position. And it looked very funny as they were all trying to come out together. And the fairies saying that they are feeling the 444 date, which is coming up. The first card to come out was transformation. And this is a confirmation of how much our world is transforming as we are thrown into a grand collaborative effort to work together for the betterment of the world. Many are doing their part by self-isolating, and then there are others who are being very mindful of who within their community of friends and family that they can help. It's transforming the way that we might have taken for granted our freedoms, our ability to go to restaurants, shops, congregate on beaches and in parks, and probably most of all, it will transform the way we might have taken for granted our health. And while the Posse of Angels and I have spoken about the gift of this transformative time, change can be very, very challenging, and some of our most important lessons have to be learned in hardship and adversity to really get our attention. But this time of change can be exciting if we allow our perceptions to focus on how much good will come out of this global event. And the Posse of Angels and the Fairies want to speak about those who have passed and have crossed over because of this virus. The Fairies and the Posse of Angels wish to acknowledge and remind us that all of these people passed away. All these people who passed away contracted to exit the planet at this time to bring attention to outdated structures and outdated systems like our financial, political, economic, housing for all, healthcare that no longer serve an awakened planet that wishes to operate from a higher, unified consciousness rather than to only serve a small percentage of humanity. This is the great awakening that enlightened beings have been consciously and unconsciously preparing for a long time. So, this is the card of transformation, and it says, surrender to the transformation that is happening in your life. It's happening for your highest good. Embrace it, for the best is yet to come. Wow. So thank you. Thank you to that beautiful card. The next card, the second card that came out, is the card that's entitled Precious Time. And it's a reminder that as we isolate, to take this precious time, or this precious gift of time that we've been blessed with, and to make the most of it. This could be the gift of spending more quality time with your children. This could be the precious gift of time to write a book, write a screenplay, study a language, take an online course. Give yourself the gift of being swept away in a good book, like my books. Perhaps if you haven't had the time, you can read my books, One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, I Am an Angelic Walk-In, the autobiography of me, Angel Ariel, and also for the child within all of us, Angels of Faith. So, yeah, take the time. You have the time to read books. Also, give yourself the gift of sitting in silence during this precious time and go into quiet reflection to really appreciate all the blessings in your life. The fairies are saying that the whole world is learning a timely lesson at this momentous time, and they're urging us to see the value in the world's much needed, precious time out. And the message is the Fairy of Time wants you to experience every moment fully, to make most of your precious time, being mindful, not to waste it. It's very precious time for all of us. The next card that flew out with the others was the card of Solitude. The Posse of Angels and the fairies, they are reminding all of us to use the time of solitude to connect most with ourselves. They are reminding us that this global event happened now because we as a humanity, we're ascending. We are evolving into higher conscious beings of the highest vibrational frequencies, and our elevated energies can no longer support systems that do not provide for the good of all people. By finding the quiet space and by sitting in quiet reflection, we will find the peace and serenity, knowing that love and light have won on the planet, and that massive change will come in as a result of this. And this one says, think of being alone or as meaning that you are all one. I like that. And in total harmony with everything. There we go. And the next card that came out was Find Balance. This is the lucky last card, last but not least. At the start of people isolating, there were so many people who could not go to their regular gyms, and they threw themselves into extended exercising schedules at home. Some set about to clean out 10, 20, 30 years of accumulation from their closets all in a weekend. And others have set a task to read every book that they ever downloaded on their ebook readers. After a while, whether it's exercising, cleaning closets, or reading, it doesn't matter what it is. If you're doing it all the time, it's going to become tedious and monotonous. They are reminding us that it's really good to have a schedule when we are in isolation, but they're suggesting that we all be very mindful that we don't become too rigid and set in our ways. And please, and especially I hear the fairies saying, please allow for fun times of fun, play, just plain silliness, and perhaps watching those favorite movies of yours. Pete and I played Scrabble last night, and we loved it. Because when we are able to gain our freedoms again, we'll not reflect on how clean our closets are, or how big our muscles became as a result of us building a home gym, or that we read every book on our e-reader. But we will reflect on how we all came together and kept our peace of mind and were calm, and how we shared our love, our help, and our compassion with others, and how it's these things that will put the world into perfect balance. So Thank you so much to those 4 fairy cards that came out. Let me go to my tarot cards and pick some cards for us. So I'd love you to put in the comments, knock, 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 let's clear those cards. Put in the comments below to tell me what you are doing during this time. During this time, I'm editing my 6th book. I have those 3 books that I showed you, and also Pete and I produced the 2 audio books of One True Home Behind the Veil of Forgetfulness, and I narrated on both of those books, and also I am an angelic walk-in. So I'm editing my 6th book, and I'm also doing some changes to the website and adding some video to it as well. So let me know what you are doing during your time of isolation. Okay, cutting it into 3 piles. And the first card that is coming out for us is the Knight of Wands. Now, this is traditionally the movement and the travel card. You may not have realized it, or you may have, that during this time of isolation, we have been evolving. Those of us living in a higher consciousness have been evolving higher, and as a result of this, in April, there will be so many people who will get communiques, emails, phone calls, texts, whatever, letters, snail mail, that will bring them information that they will be moving physically, movement in their careers, and then they will be traveling after that when this, of course, this self-isolation is over. But this card is telling us that there was so much that was going on underneath the surface during all of this, as all the puzzle pieces of our lives have been thrown in the air, and when they come down, or they start fitting together, you will see how the things that you've done in the past, people that you've met, it's a karmic cycle, and that we will be moving forward. So, and there's nothing that you really have to do in order to hasten this, because it can't be hastened, or to prepare yourself for it. But it's just an emotional thing, and it's maybe emotional and mental, to know that you will be moving forward as a result of us going into April, more into spring and into summer. So, and when the horses appear in the tarot, it's about our personal power. So thank you, Mr. Knight of Wands. Next card that's coming out for us is the Chariot. Okay, there's another horse on there. And this is the card of recognition. It's the card of victory. It's the card of being rewarded. It's a number 7 card. And I've been speaking a while about how there are many 7s that are appearing, meaning that we are ascending into from the 5th dimensional energies into the 7th dimension, or a higher dimensional frequency. Know that whatever you have been working on, whatever you put your focus and attention on, this will be rewarded. It's a card of recognition for the efforts that you have put in. And it's another card of movement. Look at this. 2 cards that came out. 2 cards that came out. Movement, movement. Both with horses on them. Both personal power cards. It's going to be a tremendous time as we move forward into April. Wow. Next card that came out for us, and this card is reversed. Now, I don't usually read reverse card, but I heard read it reversed. Okay. This is the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is usually a card of burdened, of strain, of feeling like you're pushing molasses along a flat surface. It's like, nothing is getting done. But, this guy is really trekking and taking all of his wands on his back, and the heaviness of that. The heaviness is lifted in April. That's what has happened as we go into April, and as our freedoms are restored. So many of us will have that communique or that impetus to move forward again, and feel lighter. We are going to actually feel lighter and less burdened as a result of all that has been going on during the past month. And then we will feel much lighter, and then we will be able to move once again. Wow, thank you very much for that. The next card that's coming out for us is the Sun card. And the Sun is coming out. There's definitely going to be so many changes that come about as a result of this. And whether it is the Great Awakening or not, or whether, those in the New Age community put so much of an effort on an emphasis on this being the number one thing, it has certainly gotten us to be very introspective and to see where we can shine our lights and continue to shine our lights on the planet. This is a 1 card. We are starting a new cycle. Each and every one of us is personally starting a new cycle, but we are also starting a new cycle as a global collective. So very radiant time coming up for many, many of us. And the next card that's coming out, I love this card. This is a 4, 4, 4, 4. And so extraordinary to be ending with a 4 card. This is the marriage card. And it's the card of celebration. But there are many cards in the tarot deck that have celebration attached to them. But this one is for hard work that you have put in. So it could be the marriage of you with somebody else for a physical marriage. It could be with that full moon in Libra, which is going to be putting a great emphasis on all our relationships and connections. This could be someone coming into your life and the marriage of a business partnership, working in collaboration with each other. That perfect someone who can bring out the best in what you're doing, and it's a symbiotic relationship because it's a win-win situation. This is a wonderful card to end with. So what a radiant, absolutely beautiful reading for all of us. Do take care during this time, everyone. Make sure that you are not only physically safe, but you're emotionally and mentally safe by checking in with yourself from time to time. And if you are feeling panicked, if you are feeling fear, please do take the time to sit in quiet reverie. Put on some beautiful, perhaps meditative music, classical music, and take a couple of deep breaths. One of the greatest things that I do is I take 4 slow, deep breaths in and then release it for a count of 8. And I do this several times, and it centers me. Another thing that I do to bring back balance to my life is I go out on my balcony. I have a show every Thursday at 10 a.m., which is views from my balcony on my Facebook live TV show page. And I ask the world, I ask the fairies and the Posse of Angels, show me the magic. Sometimes a hummingbird comes to visit. Sometimes a squirrel runs across the balcony. The crows are very vocal friends and they come to call. Or it could be the scent of the jasmine flowers. It could be the wind that is coming to call, or the leaves waving their hello at me. There are so many things that we can be grateful for in our world, and certainly we have the time now to put our focus and attention on just how blessed we are. Again, a reminder, if now that you have extra time, and you can either order these books to receive them in print, or if you're an e-reader, you can download them as Kindles, download them on your Kindle, on your e-reader, or both of these books are available on audio as they are on audible.com. And it's my narration along with some very, very talented professional voiceover actors, and we bring to life these remarkable books. Even though you're in isolation, you can go on a tremendous, remarkable adventure into my past lives and what I did across the veil between those past lives in which I grew the most spiritually, and about my extraordinary angelic walk-in experience, which occurred on January 11th, 2003, when the former soul of Claire Candy walked out of her body and I, Angel Ariel, walked in to bring heaven on earth to my life and heaven on earth to so many others. Please do visit Amazon. You can also visit my website, which is angelhealinghouse.com. If you would like to book my services over FaceTime or Skype during this time of isolation, for direction, clarity, perhaps to get one of these wonderful angel readings, you can call 1-831, actually one is outside of the States, 831-277-3716. And my website is angelhealinghouse.com. Thank you everyone for listening. Be safe, be healthy, and do remember to fashion an absolutely beautiful life for yourself. Love and angel blessings. I look so forward to speaking with you again next week. Bye everyone.